Oh, she's not even in the
Aw,
screens.
putting Amber in. Well, that's
All right.
Amber's
Yeah,
on
Rose.
Instagram. So.
Got a little nose there.
Hi, everybody. This is our last live stream of 2022. So I can't believe the year's over already.
Always flies
was-
by.
It flies by. It was a big, long year and everything. So give us a shout out if you're out there. This is going to be an exciting kind of episode. So give us a shout out. Make sure you can hear us, see us, all that type of thing. And in case we're having any technology problems, we don't want to be halfway through and then have to try to fix it. So anyway, happy end of December, everybody. So
Yeah.
Tomorrow is actually a holiday. Well, a fun holiday. It's called TikTok Day. So what TikTok Day is, the clock is rolling down towards the end of the year. So anything unfinished from the year that you want to do, you still have a couple days to do it and stuff like that.
So not like TikTok, like the social media. That's where I thought you were going.
No, not TikTok that way. So yeah, they need to rename that holiday. So, but it's TikTok Day in that, like anything that you want to do before the end of the year, check your list, do it, that type of thing. So.
2022 bucket list items.
Exactly. And that's kind of what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about 2022 year in review. I know a lot of you people, a lot of everybody out there attended our strategic planning class last year, which is always a lot of fun. I love doing that. So it seems like that whole strategic planning thing seems so overwhelming and daunting and stuff like that. But it's actually kind of fun to plan out your year. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this and this and this. It's all the fun things that the year has to bring you, not the unexpected things that like challenge you from week to week. You get to work on all the fun things. So strategic planning is actually a fun thing. So our next few episodes today and then next Wednesday and the Wednesday after, we're going to be breaking that down so it's not so daunting. We're going to have worksheets on each one. We'll post our worksheets in this post for later on. First, we'll review it in the live, and then we'll post our worksheets so that you guys can work on it too.
Yeah. So what we talked about, like one of the reasons we decided to do this was the last few years, I mean, long time, you've had the strategic planning, whether we had spent it in person or last year we did, you did an online class or I know I think we did like brief live too for it. But it's always about like that year and happening and like, which is also good too if it is your first year selling and that type of thing. But we really wanted to break down this year where your sales were, where you can improve, so that way you can help build on it for next year. So this is going to be a little more intensive than in certain ways than strategic planning was anyways. And a little more geared towards you and your product specifically.
Yeah, this is hard, but it should feel fun. Right? It should feel, it's like planning a vacation, only not a vacation. You're planning out your year in business and what you're doing and your products and you're making and everything like that. So it should feel fun, but it is hard. Like, you know, all these things go through your head, and like us as creative people go through our head really fast and we want to do all these things. So it kind of helps you take a step back too and just be like, I can't, accomplish all 5,000 things I want to do, but for this year, maybe I'll pick this business. So anyway.
It's fun too, seeing like something that you, like a newer product that you had made and like see how well that did, see which one's your most like best selling and that type of thing, because something you might think might not be, and vice versa. So it's fun to kind of go through that and see what you can help capitalize on for next year.
Correct. All right. So what do we have for this week? So,
all right.
Show them the sheet first.
So yes. So this right now we call this a rear view mirror exercise, which was similar in the other for last year's strategic planning stuff. But we modified it a bit to get a little more granular.
To be more maker specific and stuff like that. So what this is exactly what our post says, 2022 in review. Rear view mirror is looking in the rear view mirror. Okay, 2022 is almost over. What happened? What the heck happened? What went on? Let's look at that type of, some people just want to move on. Some people are like, this was a great year, that type of thing. You still want to do that. It's easier to plan your 2023 or the next year when you review what already happened this year. So on the first page of our little worksheet here.
So you can capitalize on your successes and hopefully avoid some of your failures.
Correct.
So if you don't look back, you can't learn from it.
Yeah. We don't want to focus on the negative and this and that. So everybody, when you're in business and when you're making, when everybody has learning experiences. Some people like to think of them as failures, but they're actually learning experiences. Hopefully you've learned not to do that again, or modify it a little, we'll do it differently this time, that type of thing. So we're not going to focus too much on that, but we do ask that because there are those things that always pop up that you're like, Oh boy, that happened. We're moving on.
Yeah.
So
That could be a bunch of things. That could have been something with your making. It could have
Right.
been like unsuccessful something with your customer. It could have been a
right,
packaging issue. There could be so many different things.
right,
But
exactly. Yeah.
all right. So
Question
so
number
yes.
one.
So these are great. We'll post these after so you guys can fill them out because there's too many and you guys have to go back in your notes.
Yeah, it's a
So
nice
you can't do it
PDF
right now.
form that you'll be able to print it out. So we'll have a PDF
Yeah.
this week, next week, the week after. You'll be able to print these out, take them in chunks, think about them and stuff like that. Now, this is the type of thing that, you could be doing this over coffee. Think about your most
Mhm.
creative time of day. So maybe you're a night person, nighttime's more creative. I'm a morning person. When everything's quiet, I'm having my coffee. That's when my best thoughts of the day are. So after like 10 a.m., forget about it, maybe. No.
Yeah, and I'm the opposite. So I work
Yeah.
better in the later afternoon
Right.
into the evening. So
Whenever
don't
you
talk to me in the morning.
Yeah. Whenever you feel like you're at your best and at your mental peak and stuff like that, work on that and it should be fun. Or it's a relaxing thing to do at night or whatever. Sometimes after a tough day, well, let's think about all the good things that can happen. So
Mhm.
you can do it then too. So
All right.
question
So
number one.
first, number one, kind of going off of that, what are you most proud of accomplishing this year? And then we do have on there that you need to list 3 things.
Yeah, list 3 things that you're proud of accomplishing. Now, everybody's
could
got
be
accomplishments.
yeah,
It could be,
so
again,
many
it could be
different
anything.
things.
So this could be doing with your business. This could be doing with developing a product. This could be you had a baby, you got a new dog, whatever you're most proud of this year. Just write it down. There's no wrong answer. There's absolutely no wrong answer. You should be proud of yourself for everything that you do, no matter what it is. So, but there's no wrong answer. So, what are you most proud of?
I mean, I don't know if proud is necessarily a word, which is like something that like I'm happy to accomplish. Like, I mean, I got married and we bought a farm this year, so like those 2 are obviously highlights of my year.
Okay. I was
So,
gonna
but
say,
I
you
don't
better
know if,
say
like-
something about your husband. If he watches
Yeah.
this, you're in trouble.
He wouldn't. He's on social
Yeah.
media.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
but I don't know.
things
I don't
like
know if I
that.
consider that an accomplishment. It's just a life step, I guess.
Right.
So
It's still an accomplishment. Wedding was a lot of work. So
it was a lot of work. I will give it
Yeah.
that.
yeah. But think about that. It could be anything. So it could be absolutely anything. So
All right. So number 2, we're going a little more into your business here. So where did the sales flow from easily and without a lot of effort? So that's kind of the main basis question. And then we broke that down into a couple different areas because it is a very broad question.
Right, that's
so
okay.
anything that comes to
Think
your
about that.
mind immediately, like I put just for that question, just anything that like pops to mind, like, oh, I did this and it was like awesome, and then just write that down.
Right.
But so we're gonna break it down from here then.
Mhm.
So the first section would be like any shows, so like craft share shows or vendors or
Farmers
whatever.
market, wholesale shows, whatever shows
Whatever
you
you
did.
did.
If you didn't
Yeah.
do whatever events you did, if you held them or attended them or whatever,
Yeah. So
which
like,
ones were good.
yeah, which ones were good,
Mhm.
and where were your sales? What products did you sell? I had another thing there, and I lost my train of thought.
The main theme of it, maybe it was a theme
Mhm.
show. So what was your main theme? That type of thing. So it could be shows. If you didn't do any shows, obviously skip.
Maybe that'll be
Skip.
skip
A.
that. Maybe that'll be a goal for next year.
Yeah. Could be.
All right. So next section, social media. So, and specifically like which posts did well. So there is a do well, like, oh, I got a lot of likes. Okay, that's cool. But did you sell anything from it? Because that's really what our bottom line comes down to.
Right.
So anything that like, especially if you're a lot of times you can be able to track those things. If you can track like how many clicks you got to your website because of that post,
Mhm.
those type of things to note. Like if your post went viral because like you did something ridiculous, but like you didn't get any sales from it, like I don't really care about that. So
Right.
personally, if you're looking for your business, we're business focused.
It's a good way to
So,
grow followers, though.
It
Yeah.
is, but it
So-
also if you're as
yeah.
long as it's along the right kind of followers. So
Yeah, true.
like if you're getting people that like don't really care or they do like you get weird bots and stuff, like that's not helping
Right,
you.
right.
But if you're growing organically and people are following you and liking your stuff from what you post and you're being consistent with it,
Right.
and like what I'm sure you're gonna have at least 1 or 2, hopefully a lot more posts where you got a lot of interaction, comments, sales, that type of thing. So take note of those posts. What was the products in that post? How was it a video? Was it just a regular post? Was it a reel? Like which one did well specifically? What products were there? And then why do you think that was? And also if we keep in was that one of the ones where it had like the trending audio too, because that's important to note as well.
Is there a place that you can go, like in your social media account, and see like analytics or something like that?
Yeah, in your Instagram account, you can. There are like an area where you can see the posts there too. There's also a lot of like different other like websites. Like we use Sprout, where you can connect to. But there's that like we have a bigger level of it, but you can use a lower level that they might even have a free version. There's a bunch of different ones that you can connect your social medias to, and they'll actually do a lot of the analytics for you and show you which posts are successful and that type of thing. But so there's a lot of different ways to look at those. So that's a really big one. So you definitely, I mean, you're gonna need some time to dive in. If you don't already know off the top of your head, you might already know which posts like did really well.
That's fun to look at though. So
It
if
is.
you sort it by, it's fun to look at and be like, wow, that shocks me. I can't believe that one was.
Yeah, sometimes the things, and then also too, like with Reels, like obviously Instagram has moved a lot more towards the video end versus the photograph end, and Reels have gotten really popular. And I know sometimes when you post those too, you might not get any likes in the first like day or two, and all of a sudden it'll blow up a week later. So don't be discouraged with those type of things if you're not getting a lot of likes or anything right away, because that does happen. So just keep it up there and just move on to your next thing and just keep going, keep posting. So the more you're posting too, obviously Instagram knows all those things, so they're going to show your posts more. All right. So the next area of sales flow, word of mouth. So like, do you have a really awesome friend that keep recommending you, family, that type of thing? Any networking events you might have, that type of thing. Like what specifically those people or those events, like how can you help? I guess that's more going more into next week. I was like, how can you help capitalize on that? But specifically, like, who are those people, your ambassadors that like
identify those.
Identify those
top fans.
Yeah, those type of people, and then we'll work on those next week of how we can improve.
Cool.
All right. Next category, ads.
This could be anything, like magazine ads, social media ads, whatever.
If you did any ads, maybe you're doing ads.
Newspaper, if there even is newspapers anymore. So
a lot of different things.
Yeah.
I mean, Facebook and Instagram make it super easy to do ads from your posts. Right. So any of those ads, were they successful? Were they unsuccessful? Do you know how to figure out if they're successful or not? Those, start looking into like those type of things. We'll start going over that next week of how we can.
You have to say, how about the price of ads this year? If you ran any ads, holy mackerel. So that was something that inflated a lot. So so
you want to make sure when you are running the ads that you're making more back than you're spending, because you're not useful.
Anybody selling advertising will try to convince you that their advertising is the most effective possible and you shouldn't use any other ones and stuff like that. And then you need all of them. So you got to be your advertising budget up. But ads went crazy high this year. So.
All right, so that's the biggest thing in the sales and everything. It's you guys have to go down and do nitty gritty in there, so we can work on that for next week. And then, so number 3, what projects, events, or promotions did you enjoy most? Right. So which ones did you have fun with?
Right.
Did you meet a lot of cool people?
Right. Get yourself out there, give it a lot of business. Even if you didn't sell things, did you, was it like a future event? Okay, somebody took your card and then they placed a big wholesale order with you. So that's awesome too.
So for more your enjoyment.
Right. Just which ones were fun, which ones had, good show promoters and stuff like that.
Which one would you want to do again, essentially?
Exactly. Yep.
So, and then kind of off of that, what ones made you the most money? That's important to note.
That is a good thing.
You might not even the same thing.
Sometimes it could be a great show, but then the weather's horrible that weekend, so it's not going to be a good show because nobody goes out. So, and then other times it could be, you would think it's not a good show, do a church event or something like that. Well, how many people are the church going to get? That could be one of your best events of the year. So you just don't know, but it's good to keep track of and stuff like that and everything. Just keep track of it, and that way So
so that's one of the biggest things too. I mean, sometimes when you're just starting out, you're not necessarily keeping tally of like this specific candle in this size and this fragrance sold at this show, and like, so you have to make sure that you are like keeping track of which products are selling, so that way you know what to do more of and what you can kind of do differently, which we'll go into that again next week. But so make sure you're keeping track of that, how you're doing at the shows, how much money you're making, how much did the table cost, what were the fees involved. So did you actually make any money, or did you just pay for yourself to be there?
Or was
So-
it just fun?
Yeah, it was just fun. I mean, sometimes it's good to just have fun too,
Right.
and then like your word of mouth stuff will get out there. So, all right, and now we're gonna go into a little bit what didn't go so well,
Right.
which is good. We need to look at this too.
We need to. I don't like to spend a lot of time on this, but you have to
No.
look at it too, just
Just to
so
improve.
that you're not doing the same things again
Right,
that didn't go
exactly.
well. So, yeah. So,
All right. So, what didn't turn out as planned and why? So, that could have been a show that happened and anything like it rained, and so it didn't go as what you thought. But that's not necessarily a thing that's just that stuff happens.
Right.
So, it could be something
Right.
simple as that. Or you had a really awesome product you developed, you thought it was going to be great, and then you launched it and it kind of flopped. We got to look into like, okay, well, did you like hype it up before you launched it? A lot of times, like,
Right.
it took, what is it, 7 times people need to see something before they're likely to
To hear
buy
it,
it?
yep.
Yeah.
yeah.
So, like,
Be nice to yourself in this
Yeah.
in this part of the be nice to yourself. It's not about
learning,
excuses or blaming or faulting or anything like that. Just state the facts and be nice to yourself. Don't be like, well, I didn't do this or I didn't do that. No, it's not about that. What didn't go well? Not what did what didn't go well. Be nice to yourself. Don't beat yourself up. So
okay. Did you make any important decisions that in hindsight you would handle differently?
So what important is maybe you decided to, boost up your inventory and then sales were a little softer and then you had all this money spent and didn't sell, as much inventory as you wanted to. Maybe that happened. So that happened to a lot of people this year. That's the theme of this year kind of as we roll out of COVID and stuff. Or
Yeah, when there's scarcity of products, so you get products and then
made a bad hire. You hired people that weren't a good decision. So that type of thing. So that's an important decision, but not business shattering kind of decision. But what important decisions did you make that you would do differently? So
that could even be something as like, suppose like a customer complaint too or something. Always something
Right.
happens, like something got lost or something got broken, and I don't know.
right,
just
and then
that
you
type of
were
thing.
like, okay, well let's wait and see if it shows up, and then you didn't do a replacement, and then they went on social media and bashed you for like a month straight, them and all their friends and stuff.
Yeah.
Could handle it differently the next time maybe. So
Yeah, those type of things. All right.
Mhm.
So number 6, if you had a do-over card, what would you have done differently?
yeah, and this could be anything. So like if I had a do-over card, we got hit with a lot of fraud this year, and it wasn't just us, it was all businesses, all industries. One of my relatives sells a completely different product in a completely different industry, and we were talking over the holidays, and she's like, oh my god, are you seeing a lot of fraud? And I'm like, it was terrible this year, absolutely terrible. So if I had a do-over card, we would have tightened things up in January when we first started seeing it, and gave a lot more people a lot harder of a time. So that would be something on my do-over card. Can't do anything about it now. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. I always think that I'd like to think that people have good intentions and they aren't going to do bad things, but sometimes bad things happen to good people. So,
Yeah.
But in my do-over card, I would have tightened things up.
It's
a
weird
bit
too.
in
It's
the
not something
beginning.
like you think of too. Like people like, let me go fraudulently buy candle supplies.
Yeah.
Like it's not something you like think like TVs. Yeah, sure. Like that type
I
of thing you
know,
think
I
of, but
know.
like this stuff, it's like, but it happens.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go into your products a little bit
Right.
more now.
Enough of the negative
So,
and dark side.
yes.
Be nice to yourself, whatever, but review those things.
yeah,
So.
go into the fun things, the products. All right, so number 1, what new additions did you have this year? And then all those new additions, what was the most successful and least successful? So you could look at this in a bunch of different ways. Obviously, you can look at it in like the sales, like the nitty gritty of it.
Right.
You can look at it in how much like got attention with different things, like either from customers on social media, which may not have sold that product, may have sold other products.
Right.
So you can kind of look at that in different ways.
That's a good thing to keep track of. Did you have new things? Like new things were
Yes,
really
you
important.
definitely did.
So like here, we added almost 400 different new items.
Ooh.
Things I know that's a
It doesn't
lot.
seem like it was that many.
Yeah, we add them gradually as it goes on. So as we see fit, and we will continue to do that for 2023 because that's always fun having new things. I love doing that. But some big hits were like all of our new jars that we had, and our advent calendars were a huge hit. I thought they were cool, and I'm like, let's throw this set, see if everybody wants. Oh my gosh, they sold like crazy. We will have them, and of course, new scents. Everybody always loves new scents.
I love new scents.
Yeah, we all love new scents, so the new scents are always a big hit. But yeah, so what product additions did you make? What new things were out there for people and stuff like that? So even if you're not reinventing the wheel or a whole new product line, maybe you just add a color and scent to your candle line, or that type of thing. Add a few colors and scents, add a scent of the month or something like that.
Or even like the size, like if you're normally selling like a 17 ounce and you do a 10 ounce or something, and it's the same packaging, everyth's the same, it's just a little bit different size, something like that.
It's a different budget. Yeah,
Mhm.
It's a different budget, different markets. So
yeah. So does how did all those things go for you?
And then what did you add that wasn't as greatest? Because you're gonna have have some that are great, you're gonna have some that aren't great, and that's just the way business goes. That's,
I know. Most of the most disappointing things is sometimes we like really really like something and then it doesn't sell well, and you're like, what happened?
Why don't people want to buy that? I love that. Yeah.
So that happens sometimes too. So and then like sometimes it's honestly just like in the name too. So like we've had like a couple of fragrances that like don't really seem to sell well, and then like you can call it something else and it will sell well. So you gotta like look at like that type of thing too. It's like, all right, well, this didn't sell well. Why? So like, was it the marketing on it? Was it the name? Was it the packaging? Like little things you could change to maybe make it a little bit more successful. So don't just give up on something if it didn't sell well to begin with.
And don't be afraid to try things that you don't know. So like, for instance, Fruit Loops.
Yeah,
we held off on adding that forever.
So against the Fruit Loops fragrance.
Not necessarily.
I was
against
against
it, just not on board. We're not sugary cereal people.
That's the thing. We're just not cereal people, but we kept getting requests for it. It's like, all right, fine, we'll get it.
Right.
And it was
so
really
we got
good
it.
seller.
It was out of all of our new scents, that was our second bestseller. First seller was one of my favorites. We didn't get any requests for it, but I wanted it because I thought it was awesome. Bourbon Vanilla. Number one.
Good,
Bourbon Vanilla. And that is a fantastic one. So, yeah. So.
But sometimes like, and that's another thing too, is make sure you're listening to your customer requests too. Because it's like things you might not have thought of, or like things that like you may not necessarily like, but your customers might have a affinity.
Customers know best. That's why we like to hear from you. Give us lots of feedback. What do you want to see for next year? And
So I mean,
customers always know best.
They're the one that's buying things, so you should listen to them for an extent of what you should have.
Makes it they're awesome and great and easy. So
all right, so kind of off of that, most successful fragrance oil.
Right. So what fragrance sells your best? And it doesn't matter your line. Like it could be soap, it could be lotions, candles, wax melts, air fresheners, whatever you sell. What's your most successful fragrance? So be sure to keep track of that. And then as you're adding new things, it helps, piggyback. As you're adding new things, you could go things that complement it, things that are,
like just for instance, lavender. Lavender is a huge seller, and like we have plain lavender, and we have like lavender lemongrass, lavender vanilla, lavender there's and they all sell well. Right. So you could even take something that like is selling really well and then just put a little twist on it, and like that might be doing really well too.
Off lavender vanilla.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, and then on that same note, what was your least successful fragrance? So, and kind of seeing why that might be, and if like maybe you just do a name change, or if they should discontinue it.
Or maybe it just wasn't great to begin with. So
which happens sometimes too. And taste change too, like things develop over time, like depending on like wherever the marketing is and like that type of thing. So like we'll go through our fragrances and sometimes discontinue a few just because like they're trends out. Tired. Yeah, they're out.
They're
something
tired.
Else is new. So
something else is new and in, and it keeps it fun. So
all right, and then last one. What was your most successful product? Overall?
And this could be new, existing, whatever. What's your most successful product? So
I do think you should take note too of like the difference between new ones and your like ones you've had, because sometimes the new ones will have like a huge spike in sales because they're new and they're fun and they're exciting, but it might not stay consistent over time. So make sure you're taking a look at that too. Was it consistent over time? Was it a big sales spike now and now it's kind of lower? So just taking note of that.
Fun things. So
and your least successful product. So that could be
because not everything. You're not going to win on everything. You're not going to win on everything. So.
And that could be a product, or it could be like a specific.
If you do win on everything, call me. I want to know your secrets.
And that could be. You could do that overall. Like it's this size, like scrub that doesn't sell well, or it's this scrub and this fragrance. So like kind of look at it a couple different ways. So like So some people like will start with either candles or soaps, then add like other little things. And like depending on their market and who their customers are, they might not use some of the other things.
Right.
So it's just take note of that. Like it might not be anything that's wrong. It's just your customer base might not want it or need it. So.
Right. All right.
Yeah. So that was a lot.
That's a lot. That's on page
Things.
1 of our little workbook here that we'll post a link to.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you guys take the time, go through this, go through your things,
Right.
so they can be ready
you
for
won't complete
next
that
week
in
for
5
that.
minutes. It's
No.
not a 5-minute exercise. So, and you don't have to do it all at once, but
Yeah.
you can sit down and fill those questions in.
Yeah.
It will help you plan out next year if you fill this in and stuff. So.
Yeah, and hopefully you'll have it done for next week because we're gonna be back off of this for
Yeah.
next.
Oh my
week's-
God, there's homework to this live stream.
There is homework. We never give homework.
I know. Yeah.
That's exciting.
There's homework.
Yeah. I mean, people probably should have off or something the next like
Right.
weekend or whatever, a day or two, or you have
Right.
the weekend. So give you some time to do that.
In our industry, this is a very good time just to take a deep breath. We've all worked our you-know-what's off for the past few months.
Fourth quarter
Take a
heavy
deep
here.
breath, relax, and then think about next year. So,
Mm-hmm.
and then, so our second page in our little workbook here that we're going to post a link to, it's called the Wheel of Life exercise. So this could be a wheel of anything really. You can print it out. So like on here, it's kind of just your whole life looking at. So there's sections for career, finance, personal growth, health, family, relationships, social life, attitude, all that type of thing.
Attitude.
And what you want to do, you can get a pen, you can get colored something, whatever. You just want to fill it out. It's a 1 to 10 scale. So fill it out depending on how you're feeling. So my health is feeling pretty good. So I'm going to fill that out to a 10. So that could be a 10. It's all filled out. You know, not really go out. So I'm going to put my social life low. So, and it's just kind of, you can see, you know, as you fill out these things and find things out and stuff like that, it's designed to hold back and look at it and be like, oh, okay, those empty spots, that's what I need to work on. And that can be part of your plan too. So it's just kind of a temperature check of where you are right now. And you can also, like, if you don't want to do this or you want to change it up, maybe this could be in your product line. So like maybe instead of, you know, all these categories, it could be like, you know, for instance, if I had to do this in our product line, I would put, you know, like wax, you know, scent, that type of thing. It could be on your product line. It could be scrubs, candles, whatever. And then, you know, how you're feeling about that product line, where you're at. Do you need to add more? Do you have too, you know, whatever, on 1 to 10 scale. How do you feel about that? So you could change it up for whatever you want to change it up to. It's not just this. This is just like a whole life kind
And you
of
get to color.
look at everything. And you get the color,
So that's
and it's
fun.
kind of fun. Yeah, you could use different colors and, you know, to change it up or whatever. I have an awesome family, so I'm going to fill that all the way up.
I ain't even filling outside of the lines. It's getting
I
crazy.
even colored outside the lines because I'm going fast here. So whatever you're feeling about that person, that particular section or whatever, just fill it in, and that way you can hold it back, and it clearly shows you right where, you know, there's room to grow and stuff like that. So I mean, the object in life is to be better than you were yesterday, right? It's all against yourself. You want to be a better you than you were yesterday. So this will help you out, fill in the places where you feel like you could be a better you. So
All right. Let's go through, see if you guys have
yeah,
any comments,
questions, feel free to post them. We'll keep looking in there too, and we'll post a link to this fun-filled worksheet here. Thanks for joining us today too.
All right. I pulled mine out from last year to copy and make a new one. Super helpful. Perfect. Yeah, that's good.
Good. Somebody was there last year. Love it.
Do you have your soap classes for 2023 out yet?
Oh no, that's on my strategic plan. I'm going to list them. That's going to be on not this Friday's email, but next Friday's email. So I'm going to list them. I'm all done and everything. I'm just waiting to post them on the site till the first of the year.
All right. So we are done over here.
And there. I can't see that because
I can't see that either. You have better, I feel like you have better eyesight with that.
Okay. All right. Whoa, we got lots of stuff. Yeah, everybody on YouTube and Facebook. All right. Somebody's pie candle sold out.
Woo! Pies are fun. I
Ooh,
love
somebody has
pies.
an ancient resin cream. That sounds
Ooh, that
fantastic.
sounds good.
Yeah. 3 Wiseman soap sold out.
Nice.
Okay. Somebody came in late. How can you get a copy of the workbook? We're going to put a copy of the workbook. We're going to put a link to the workbook right in the post, and we will next week and everything too. And somebody did this last year. Was just looking at it last week. It was so helpful.
Oh,
good. It is fun. Yeah, do it. Keep it on hand and stuff like that. So yeah, that's awesome. And Jill says hi, and Janet says hi. Oh, Janet from Canvas says hi. All right. And then says hello, hi ladies, hi all.
All right. I finally got my candle tins perfected with wicks
Woo!
and labels. Woo, that's a big deal.
That is
That's a very big deal. That's a good thing to be proud of and your accomplishments and stuff. So, all right.
Candle
Newbie
making is the hardest part of
in.
candle making.
We love newbies. Michelle from Michigan. Kathy. All right. Hello. Love your Snoopy sweatshirt. This was my last week to wear this, so I'm wearing this because it's my last week. I'm done with holiday clothes after this week. So.
I already put mine away. So.
Yeah. All right, and let's see. Oh, somebody else had, scammers are bad on all social media. May do over. We want to buy more cents. Wish I did today. Yeah, sounds good. All right. How are people scamming, causing fraud? It's credit card fraud. It was all credit card fraud.
Yeah, so they'll place the
Mhm.
order and then we'll
Mhm.
get
Chargebacks on it and
chargeback
stuff.
because it wasn't them.
I'm not going to say how on this because then people will do it. So no, but it's credit card fraud. So beware of credit card fraud. Make sure that whatever merchant you sign up with has a very good policy about like backing you up when fraudulent things happen. So
Yeah, if you're not taking credit cards, you don't have to worry about fraud. Or if you're like at a show, you should still be all right. But when you have the
If you
online internet
Physically
orders,
take the credit card and scan it and stuff like that. That's a lot. It's like our internet orders where it's like, one person places an order, it gets shipped to another person. They're all fake people. It's fake this, that, whatever. But if you try to match up the credit card name with the zip code, if you've ever placed an order and we're like, sorry, it didn't go through. Sorry.
AVS fail.
The
That's
address.
what I mean. It's their
so
address.
that was our tightened controls on that. So that helps a little bit to keep that down. So, all right. Lori says, love the wine and spirits. Yeah, they were popular. We love them too.
yeah,
So.
our Cheers to the New Year's collection was very
No, Janet had the ancient resin cream. Janet, I want to try that cream. So that sounds fantastic. All right. And good. I love shaped candles or candy corn packaged, very creative. Didn't sell many. Yeah, me too. Agreed. Candy corn's fun and this and that. So very limited market, very short selling time and stuff. So us too. But we still love it also.
You have to, so like, especially like with this industry and maybe your first time selling this year, even like a couple years into it, like we start doing our fall advertising planning in July. So like you have to kind of remember that too, that like you want to start early so you can start like throwing even like the stores. I know you walk in and there's Christmas stuff up in like September and
That's
you're like,
annoying.
this is annoying.
That's annoying.
But you do have to.
It gets people thinking about it.
Yeah, you do have to do it to an extent of like doing a little early with things, just so you have a little more selling time for it and it might be in people's minds. Or even if they're not going to buy it right now, if you post it and then they're like, and then they're at that time like, oh, I want to buy something fun fall like. It might be like, oh, I saw this like a couple weeks ago, and then it might come into their mind. So
there's those people that want to be first too. So.
Yeah, and then again, like we talked about too, like I think it's 7 times that people see something before they're likely to buy it. So keep posting, keep doing it.
So right. Sounds good.
That's
all we have for you today.
Yes.
We will post the the link to the PDF on this. That way you can just go to our site, PDF, you can print it out, print multiple copies, scribble, pen, pencil, whatever gets you to fill it out. So that's your homework for this week.
Yes.
We'll reconvene next Wednesday at 2:00.
Yeah.
And we'll have the next section, and we'll also review. We want to hear what you guys thought of and your accomplishments and all good things and stuff like that too.
So how to take this to the next step. I think you guys had a comment come in.
All right, next that came in. Thank you for answering the fraud question. I'm so sorry that happens. Tara, I know.
Yeah, it's part of the business, unfortunately.
Yeah. It is. I feel like, we're small. Why are you going after us? I mean, I could see that with like the bigger people and stuff like that. So,
Walmart.
But it still happens. So it's just really frustrating because everybody here, we have a great team of people. Everybody here works really hard to like have nice products, get it shipped out nice. So, on time and intact and, and they work so hard to do something and then it's just fraud and it gets charged back. And it's so frustrating. I feel bad for everyone here too. So not only for the business, but for everyone here too.
A loss in many different ways.
And the people that maybe we didn't ship their order that day because this one went out. Well, that one got we should have shipped the other orders because they were, good people that wanted it. Maybe they placed them a little later or whatever and we took them their order. But yeah, it's frustrating all the way around. So to put effort into that. So, but it's better.
All right. We
All right.
will see you guys next week.
Sounds good.
Don't
Yeah, see you
forget
next
your
week.
homework.
Don't forget your homework. It's your New Year's project. So, all right.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.